Falchagoo Ye Olde Scot Celtic Music Radio. Yeah, I know it's not radio, but in lieu of a better name, that's just what we're going to call it. Now, I've taken my extensive Celtic music collection of almost 1,000 songs, hit the shuffle button, and I'm going to play these in radio-style setting without any annoying guy talking about history and culture and stuff like that. It may take a while to go through these songs, so I will make each video about an hour long and put one out each week for your listening pleasure. These Celtic music radio sessions will be posted on the Ye Olde Scot Facebook group every Thursday and will be archived on the Ye Olde Scot YouTube channel so you can listen to them over and over again at your leisure. Erar Stankyo, on to the music. Alright, we're going to start off session 3 with The Folker, and that's by the Corries from their Comedy Collection album.
Well, my name is Fingers Murphy, but my story's seldom told. I massacre folk music with a yard of German plywood and a plectrum. I do requests, just the ones that have 2 chords in, and I disregard the rest. Well, I stand on stage the hero, a martyr to my trade, and I carry the reminders of all the gigs I've played in, like the Irish Club in Luton. But I fled in mortal fear with the imprint of a Guinness bottle stamped across my ear. Seeking 20 with expenses, I went looking for a gig, got no offers. Just to come on from a groupie up in Neasden. You've been there, have you? I do declare I was feeling rather randy, so I had her then and there. Sung the folk tradition with my finger in my ear, 'cause half the stuff I'm singing I just can't bear to hear. It's a load of cobblers, bar after bar, to the rhythm of an out-of-tune Japanese guitar. Well, I met this great guitarist, I asked him for advice, but the message that he gave me wasn't very nice, or even civil. Stick it where? And if I did, how could I tune it with it stuck way up there?
Gnaatje voor jaarlijks een bjarlinje vie. Gut u ich vachet, kun riesdag nja stri. Tro ete vulle gut achi arknie. Arknie, knie, arknie, gut achi arknie. Guldig uurtjes, genoeg vissen voort. Nam wallig zich uurtjen, trogade is tocht. Zo'n bloedische gienelbus, hami en nog. Troe de vulle gudachie arknie. Genaatje voor jallig zijn berlingen wie. Gudu wie gevagen, kun weers nog naar strie. Troe de vulle gudachie arknie. Our clear, clear, our clear, good dachi, our clear. Ein tatje shogase maar henner toch lein, they chill toch more farsing, mach het ze wein. O hieken droch hiesje, let harnje niks teen. Ach, ik zin die hele leoden die heen. Mogul ha je jingelt de schimi en fjerst. Veer tu de schoslanige jalla van juist. Het jelle mens ranken se tuigne kerst. De vieren en dagen de berst is de berst. Troe de vulle gudachi arkie. Genachtje voor jaren som bjarlinge wie. Gevagen, kun rieslag naar strie. Troe de vulle gudachie arknie. Arknie, knie, arknie, gudachie arknie. Arknie, knie, arknie, gudachie arknie.
And that was Cotra by Tidelines. And coming up next, Torth Fara, which means bread and bread, and it's Welsh. And it's by Mynediad Adam Ddim, which means free entry, from the Best of Welsh Folk Music album. And if I butchered that up a little bit, I am very sorry. I apologize to the entire nation of Wales.
Oeddwn ni fy hun o'i ddwrnod, ffaldin i'r aid o dadl am do. Mynd I weld a phobl yr hafod, ffaldin i'r aid o dadl am do. Torth o faroedd gen I bresant, ffaldin i'r aid o dadl am do. Fy gaswn in en digon tesan fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Pa nes I gyntau goed o fyw fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Syrthio nes I garf yn linie fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Syrthio naeth y dorth yn union fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Dechrau bowlio rhwngdi ar afon fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Doedd I miws I fi mor gloeddio fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Na gofyn I ddim naeth I stopio fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Bowlio roed am mynd mor handi fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Ganges in e ffarwel iddi fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Wel e morwyn Robert Seimon fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Safmi roed I draw i'r afon fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Doedd I modd ei hestyn I fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Drwy ffasiwn dŵr a draen a trysni fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Es I fan hon o dros fy sginiau fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Disgwyl cael y dorth yn dibiau fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Diolch mi roedd yn dylban fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Dim bwysion ni'n doedd ohoni fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Daswn in en medru canu fallen i'r aidal dadl am do. Canu'n well y baswn iddi fallen i'r aidal dadl am do.
House and your land, son, tell it unto me. I will life. Son, tell it unto me. Like a Sally in the rock, I will bend in the wind and pray for the God's mercy. Oh, 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 pray for the God's mercy. Pray for the God's mercy.
Alright, that was Who Put the Blood, and that's by Karen Casey from the Winds Begin to Sing album. And coming up next, You Held Out Your Hand, and that's by Anna MacDonald from her album also titled You Held Out Your Hand.
You held out your hand to me and I took it willingly. Traveler on the road, we passed our days walking some ways till we reached our cross in the road. You promised me a gold ring with diamonds. You promised me 10 fleets for the sea. You promised me fine horses on carriage, like the wind I move light and free. You held out your hand to me and I smile and turn away. The sun paints the road so gold. She casts no shadow there, and darkness cannot break her sphere. She is my lady of the road. You promised me a gold ring with diamonds. You promised me 10 fleets for the sea. You promised me fine horses on carriage, like the wind I move light and free. You held out your hand to me and I kiss it and turn away, leaving before the tears touch my lips. My lady lights the way, somehow these feet move under me. Damn, I'll miss that man on the road. He promised me a gold ring with diamonds. He promised me 10 fleets for the sea. He promised me fine horses on carriage,
All right, that was Amazing Grace by the Scottish Music Club from the album A World of Music, Scotland. Coming up next, Bardach le Niall MacLeod with the bard Niall MacLeod by Blair Douglas and Arthur Cormack on the Skye, the Island, and t-eilean, a celebration of the music of Skye.
Get teilean ga chríoch gagus tír for the Niall. Bí mo chríoch go tíireg an the t-eilean a cheá.
Falcher dos tuchgan da charachen nútli da bheantan yn súg var farin siúlach a miawn han giawrig le chúlach mun a mialaf a dúnag skachtar le fúran a rúsca gabawn is mi an culian mar loan gan chimme le iasig gentrach gyda fasgig ma iawn sy grwaen ys rwlag le esan yn smwjach a twchjam yn an lwpan gwlan yn glawn Cajil na gasci garich da glachgan o chwlefer y machgnes mystachgan y hio le fwter gasgalcig van chwlefer yn glane sna mial chain yn gianib nach fanig sy'n tord na leich nach ram mechter i yn y fatel na chymig go tashe ri cashmach gan nav Chanil ryn agus macher yn dysguliacht yn brachtach nach dagiad yn iechdri gan faslwag dan naw. Ach skyflym dag lawnten da rahans da viawnten sy'n ciohan a chadol bajan yn art na ciaf ac yn torach na sron ac yn corach sa srwhan ry carol Danielig staf Gyma bwan y fys tachdri agos clw ec o fachgyr gys yn crion yr yn tala sam pasger yn iol at sy'n siap yn y mare y bwal ag e'r caraig bu mo gwrach gyngiras do ielan y hiol
Right, that was Beggerman by Gaelic Storm from their Tree album. And coming up next, City na Cumman, City South of Cumman by William Coulter on the Celtic Voyage album.
foker klavik vikel hår og huke fokar I det foker klavik vikel og kan I kjøre kolchet ik salamet og havigi og foker klavik vikel hår og huke fokar I det foker klavik vikel der vapen kotje gewogig maar krok Jensen riach foker klavik vikel hår og huke fokar I det foker klavik vikel Nimi hein gut skipper legend for det skleste hasse Christa foker klavik vikel hår og huke fokar I det foker klavik vikel Kanjik bana varnja sledje ser doch les kanjiana chia foker klavik vikel hår og huke fokar I det foker klavik vikel Kanjik ruak ich en honra kava dajal nach janji brek foker klavik vikel hår og huke fokar I det foker klavik vikel fara machina foker klavik vikel hår og huke fokar I det foker klavik vikel Kanjik nina kanon sjahbige verkarischer man ski foker klavik vikel hår og huke fokar I det foker klavik vikel Oja mai jamaklan kan foker daren kaja friga foker klavik vikel hår og huke fokar I det foker klavik vikel Jeshen skipper haeren jo vandrande sted riva foker klavik vikel hår og huke fokar I det foker klavik vikel Gianna van kvava gaganja sokka volen machne strippi foker klavik vikel hår og huke fokar I det foker klavik vikel hår og huke fokar I det foker klavik vikel
Alright, that was Clovik Il Michael, Carmichael's Cloth by Claire from the self-titled album. And coming up next, Dublin Pub Crawl. I've been on one of those, and that's by the Merry Plowboys on their Unharnessed album. I've heard these guys in live at their pub in Dublin. They're awesome. If you ever get a chance, go see them.
When you're sweating and slaving and you don't see the need, a hot summer's day now is hard not to heed. So take off your coat, lay down on the grass. You're a leisurely gentleman, not working class. When the streets were on fire with the sun in July, and I felt like a pint for I'd drop down and die, I called out the boys and we went on a crawl. Bid good day to the boss we were going AWOL. Let loose with the lads on the double pub crawl. Had the first in the dockers had to kill an early thirst, the second in the fleet and in mull against the third. Asked the maid behind the bar for a pint of the plain. There's not many left that understand what you mean. The fourth for the dinner in the Owlithy bar, the fifth in Thomas Reed's for an afternoon jar. Down to number 6 in the famous long hall. That day in July we were going AWOL. Let loose with the lads on the double pub crawl. Number 7 in the Keys with the stag and the hen. We stayed for number 8, number 9 and number 10. We left the Temple Bar for the old Foggy Jew. Where to get to number 12, we had another 2. 13 in O'Neill's didn't bring us much luck. The lads were slowing down and some were getting stuck. The porter it was flowing, we were headed for the fall. That day in July we were going AWOL. Let loose with the lads on the double pub crawl. Bounces on each shore decorated for a ball, with the cade meal of fudge as they frisk one and all. Bring your hat from the side, cause you might crack your head from the stuff hanging up like me granny's old shed. If you're trying to navigate and you've given up the ghost, sure every Dublin pub now is robbed a signpost. A few funny places at no porter at all. That day in July we were going AWOL. Let loose with the lads on the double pub crawl. Celebrated 21 with some Danes up in Kyo's. The Vikings are back now and nobody knows. Met a German in the Duke, he was looking for a flaw. A Swede in Davy Burns, he was buying lug-a-law. Every penny of my pay now I'm sure I did lose, buying rounds for the session up in O'Donoghue's. Nearly died of shock when I heard the last call. That day in July we were going AWOL. Let loose with the lads on the double pub crawl. I came across a vision of a bar that never stops, where the beer is flowing free and there's only Guinness taps. A seat for every man, you can talk without the hum of 1,000 pedlars bopping to a lambic to rum. The vision it was ended by a big civic guard. Met the boss going home, he handed me cards. Couldn't find a cab, fell asleep in a ball. That day in July we were going AWOL. Let loose with the lads on the double pub crawl.
Sad
All right, that was Frock o' Rone, Heather to Rone, by Corgailga, Texas, on their album Foscal and Doors, Open the Door. It's a good friend of mine started that band. Her name's Juncle Jones. Used to be my Gaelic teacher, for a little bit anyway. And coming up next, it's our final song, Hardiman the Fiddler, by Bob Brosman and John McSherry from the album 6 Days and Down. Ceolchach Ula, Fat na Hunya. All Celtic music, all the time. Check out Olde Scot's Celtic music sessions exclusively on our Facebook page. Come check us out. Be sure to check out all that Olde Scot has to offer, from our Facebook group where we post new content every day of the week, and offer a free beginner's Scottish Gaelic course, to an array of videos like the Scottish Gaelic School of Cursing and Swearing, which is funny as hell, and Celtic Badass, Dark Celtic History, Celtic Music Spotlight, and Learn a Gaelic Song videos. And if that isn't enough, we have a weekly podcast of language, music, history, and culture. And of course, all this is archived on our YouTube channel, Olde Scot, where you can subscribe and get instant notification of new posted videos. Olde Scot is dedicated to promoting Celtic language, music, and culture while cherishing our combined histories. So come join us and experience the beauty of all things Celtic.